Data file handling basically is a chapter in which we store the data in three formats. First is text file, second is CSV file, and third is binary file. If we talk about text file, that simply whatever the data we will enter, it will store it as it is. Means it is in ASCII format. Secondly, if we talk about binary file, it will store the contents in 0 and 1 basically. And third is CSV file. CSV file, that is comma separated value file. In CSV file, we will read one is format. First format is separated by comma, and second is we can do the work in the Excel spreadsheet tool. Fine. So first of all, we will talk about the path. Path is the location where the actually the file is stored. There are two types of files. Path first is absolute file path, and second is relative file path. If we talk about absolute file path, means the data or the file is stored in another directory. For example, in C drive there is a folder my project, and in that my project we want to store file.txt. In that case, we have to specify the entire path. That path is known as absolute path. And if we are storing the data into the current directory where we are working, so we need not to write the entire path. We will only write the name of the file, that is file.txt. The data will be stored in that particular folder or file. First of all, we will talk about the opening and closing of file. If we talk about opening or closing of file, for opening a file, there is a file object is equals to open, then file name, then mode. Basically, we read three modes. First is R. In this, we will read from file. Second is W, write from file. The write into file, and third is A, append. Append means add data at the bottom of file. Next, if we want to close the file, simply we have to write file object dot close method. Through this, we can close that particular file. Now, let's assume there is a one file notes.txt and we want to read the entire contents from file and display it on the screen. For this, you have to take one variable, that is file object f is equals to open function, then the file name in which from which we want to retrieve the data. The file name is notes.txt, and R stands for read mode, means we want to read the data from file. Now lines is equals to f dot read lines. Read lines is a function which will fetch entire contents of a file and store it into variable lines. Through print lines, it will print all the data of notes.txt, and f dot close will close that particular file. Next is opening and closing text file, that is the alternative method to, that is with open file name comma mode as file object, then file operation statement. For example, if we want to open notes.txt through object f, we have to write with open notes.txt comma r as f, then lines is equals to f dot read lines, then print lines. Through this statement with open notes.txt comma r as f, it will work as same as that we have read in previous question, that is f is equals to open node.txt comma r. Means through what happened through this statement, it will open the file. The file name is notes.txt and the object of file is f, and we are opening the file into the read mode. Through this, we can open a particular file, that is node.txt, into the read mode and the through object f. Lines is equals to f dot read lines. We will read entire contents and store it into variable lines. Then through print lines, it will display all the contents of file. Both programs are working same. The only difference is the syntax of opening the file. Here we are using with command, with open notes.txt comma r as f. In the previous question, we are directly assigning to object, that is f is equals to open notes.txt comma r. So either you can use this statement or you can use with command, that is this statement. Both are same. The working of Both commands are same. The only difference is the syntax. Next is there are three functions: read lines, and read lines. Read, read line, and read lines. First of all, we will read function. It will read the next characters from the standard input stream. Size is optional. If specifies it specifies number of character, but if you don't specify the size, it will read entire contents. For example, with open wishes.txt, as if through this statement we are opening the file into the read mode. L is equals to f dot read. It will read entire content from file and store it into variable L. Then through print L, it will display entire contents. Once again, with open wishes.txt as f, through this command we are opening a file. फाइल का नाम क्या है हमारा wishes.txt, और उसका फाइल का ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है f. तो इस कमांड के थ्रू we are opening the file. L is equals to f dot read statement will read entire contents from file and store it into variable L. जितना भी f के अंदर लिखा हुआ है, f क्या है? F is the object of wishes.txt. It will read entire contents and store it into variable L, and through print L it will display all the contents. Next is with open wishes.text as f, L is equals to f dot read 4. It will read only 4 characters from the beginning. Beginning से 4 कैरेक्टर रीड करेगा प्रिंट एल. तो 4 कैरेक्टर कौन से थे हमारे WISH. तो 4 कैरेक्टर प्रिंट कर दिए WISH. Now L is equals to f dot read 3. It will further read next 3 characters, that is ING, and print L, it will print ING. Clear? Through this statement we can read n number of characters. Whatever the argument we will pass, that is nothing, that is the number of characters that we want to read from the file. Next is read line and read lines function. As the name indicates, read line, it will read a single line from the file, and read lines, it will read entire contents from the file. For example, with open wishes.text as f, L is equals to f dot read line print L. It will read only a single line, that is the first line, and the first line of the wishes.text is wishing, so it is printing only wishing. And second is with open wishes.text as f, L is equals to f dot read lines print L. It will print entire contents, that is wishing you a peaceful day in separate line, because print L, it will read lines line by line and it will display you. In the previous questions we are reading from file. Now in this question we want to add some data into the file. Add means append means add at the end of file. So first of all we have to open a file. With open wishes 1.x comma a as f. Here a denotes as a means append means we are writing data at the end of file. While true, it will execute the loop until unless the break statement doesn't occur. Line is equals to input line, it will enter data. F dot write line. Now whenever you want to write data into a file, firstly you have to use object of file, that is f dot write is a function which is used to write contents into the file, and contents whatever we want to write, that is within that parenthesis, that is line. So whatever the user will input, it will store it into variable line, and through f dot write line it will add data into the file. If the length of line is 0, then it will come out from file. For example, first of all the user enter hello. ठीक है, सबसे पहले यूजर ने एंटर कराया हेलो. एफ डॉट राइट लाइन से क्या होगा, जो हमने एंटर कराया वो फाइल के अंदर राइट हो जाए. क्या राइट हो जाए, लाइन. लाइन की वैल्यू क्या है, हेलो, और f is the object of wishes 1.x. so whatever the data entered by the user, it will store it into file. ठीक है. Now it will execute the loop until unless we will press double enter. अगर हम डबल एंटर प्रेस करते हैं तो उसकी लाइन की लेंथ क्या हो जाएगी, 0 हो जाएगी, और अगर 0 हो जाती है तो ब्रेक से वो बाहर आ जाएगा. क्लियर. Now next is we want to read from file by using exception handling. Now, exception handling is a process through which we can find out the file exists or not exist. If file not found, if file does not exist, then we can't read from file. So try f is equals to open fishes 1.x comma r. It will open the file for I in range 1 comma 5. 1 comma 5 means first time the value of I will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. It will execute 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. So L is equals to f dot read L. It will read the value of I is 1. So first time it will read 1. 1 means 1 alphabet. Next time the value of I will be 2. L is equals to f dot read 2. It will read next two characters EL. Then next time the value of I will be 3. LOW. Next time the value of I will be 4. It will print ORLD. Fine. So first time it will print H. Next hello world. If the it is the assumption of assumption means the data we have entered in last hello world of smiles. First time it will read H, then next two alphabet EL, then LOW, then ORLD. Fine. Similarly, same way it will read from file, character by character, and it will print the data. Now, next case, we are taking assumption that wishes1.x doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, then automatically the cursor will move to the exception, that file not found error, and it will print the same message. Clear?